Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Alma Cox. So recently I started to reread a book that I wrote 5 years ago. It's called Calling Dolores. And I thought, I just got this little hit of inspiration. I thought I might revisit it with you here on YouTube. And I thought you might enjoy it because, we're artists and we love all things creativity. I wrote it 5 years ago as a way to connect with my soul on a creative level. And it's a work of fiction. It's actually magical realism, and it's very imaginative. It has a very strange 7-day beginning, which is, a little bit hard to follow, but I thought maybe if I read it, if you had questions about it, we could enter into a discussion about it if you'd like. Now, my plan is not to read the entire thing. I was thinking I would only read part 1, which, as you can see, is just a small part of the whole book. And I would only read today, day 1 and day 2. And then I would progress through the book until I got through part 1. I probably won't be filming every single day, but my intention is to get through it quickly, so I won't let very many days pass by. And if you are interested in reading more, there are links down below, and again, I'm happy to answer any questions. But one of the things that it really inspired me to write it was I really believe that we're always creating our world, and through our thoughts, through our feelings, through our intentions. And sometimes that's a really difficult pill to swallow when bad things are happening, right? When there's a lot of negativity and there's a lot of unfairness in our world. But I feel, and I've said this in a video before, I feel that as artists, many of us wear rose-colored glasses, and maybe that's by design so that we can walk through the world a little bit lighter and hopefully lightening the load of those around us through our art, through our, hopefulness, through just a lighter touch, right? That a lot of us more sensitive folks carry with us. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. And okay, without further ado, I will say one more thing. That I recorded this a little bit earlier because I wanted to sit in a more comfortable chair in my living room. And so I just wanted to test the audio and make sure that you could hear me. So I hope that, you can, if you turn up the volume a little bit, it should be fine. I think it's pretty clear. Also, I'm reading slowly intentionally, and that's by design because I'm hoping that you'll see this as an opportunity just to relax, maybe put your feet up, get something yummy to drink, and, just take a little rest. I know that I have really enjoyed audiobooks in the past, and I find them very relaxing. So I'm hoping that you'll take this opportunity maybe just to get cozy and just allow the imagery to, flow. Okay, you guys, and again, I will get back to more art videos specifically once I get through part 1 of Calling Dolores. Enjoy. Thank you. Day 1. Cover me from the river of tears that threaten this first day. I'm inside my mother, riding her sorrow through this dark womb of mine. My veins are channels of molten gold made from a star, and I've been handed a pen by a lost daughter who misses her mother. There are so many layers in this inky dark. My heart wavers, unsure. I don't know if I should go through with this birth. Even if it is metaphorical, I know it will hurt. You need this. I hear Persephone clearly. I know this aspect of the triple goddess well. We have wandered cavernous halls together for so long. She takes my left hand to give me something, but I make a fist. I'm resistant to receiving, but she is hardly deterred. Through me, she is rewriting that old Greek story of Hades abducting her into the underworld. She went willingly, but nobody seems to remember that anymore. She accepted her lot and became a queen with vision. She tries my right hand and says, "Yes, you're right. It belongs with that generous heart." One moment, please. Creativity is having its way with me. Really? I pause writing. We're bringing my heart issues into this? I ask out loud. My question is not answered immediately. This is typical. I tap the keys impatiently as random letters appear. I glance down to see if by some act of compassion an answer has appeared for me. Fine, whatever, I drone on. We're throwing my enlarged heart into the mix, regardless of whether it will complicate matters for me. I sigh from this side of the glass in my family room. I feel like a lab rat waiting its turn to make a difference for the greater good. The implication of a sacrifice sends a shiver up my spine. The fears are closing in. I stand up to dispel the heebie-jeebies I feel disclosing my dirty laundry, but the full moon's interrogation light is merciless. It tells me, the truth will set you free. I flipper the bird and I sit my ass down again. The minutes add up quickly, and a pale orange expanse of light spreads like spilled paint on the night canvas, mixing itself with various values of purple which have been waiting their turn to wow me from the darkness. Naturally, I'm thoroughly annoyed. The universe makes creation look so damn easy. I feel stirrings of jealousy, yes, of a sunrise. But the notion that I'm jealous of a sunrise makes me smile. Just like the day is slow to reveal itself, I too am taking my time to draw out the shades of green hidden in my dark side. Writing is setting my jealousy free. All things are possible, I say out loud, grateful for the reminder. These past 9 months of writing every single day, torturous. Being peeled and revealed from the inside out, humbling. The part of me that believes that I am perfect and can do no wrong is in shock of what is there. It isn't pretty. Jealousy, impatience, resistance, annoyance, and I'm only a handful of paragraphs into this, but it's a start. It's my beginning. The voices I hear in the great river that is birthing me with all its tears are calling me now, and for the dark I will always carry within, I am given inner sight. The nurses move quickly as my heart rate plummets. Picture the controlled chaos of a delivery room. Lots going on. Stay with me now. My mother stirs in a fitful dream on the birthing bed of my imagination. She is under layers of white sheets that our memories ride like magic carpets. There is no future or past, not really, only the crisp details of moments in an infinite landscape. She is looking for me. I'm 13 and lost at sea. My teacher has called her at her corporate job to tell her I missed the ferry coming back from a field trip to Alcatraz Island. He didn't know about her crushing deadline to have the new communication lines set up for the big box store that serves the do-it-yourselfer. She abandons the work project to find me. She's so worried. Her fists hit the bed. The doctor says, she's not breathing, while my heart skips many beats. All I want is my mother. For my heart alone at sea, even one full of promise, makes this a maiden's voyage I don't think I'm ready for. Be ready to get her to ICU, says the anesthetist. My mother's head tosses from side to side. La vida es sueño, Pedro Calderón de la Barca said, and I'm arriving to continue life's dream in a specific set of circumstances that are already shaping me. On the field trip, I'm moving in and out of cells taking notes, for I know I'll need them later. I have an instinct for these things. I see my classmates in CD Alley. I hear them making jokes about the Mexicans. I hear spics. Then, in the cells with the blacks. Rachel, my best friend, leans into me and whispers, "Don't listen. You are so different." I am Mexican on my mother's side and Peruvian on my father's. I will hear the second part of Rachel's comment by many people many times in my life, and it will hurt me every time that they see me as different, that I don't belong. Rachel touches my hand to comfort me, but I know she doesn't understand about being dark and about seeing life through its muddy filter. I don't know if I want to either. We hold back from the boat that will take us to shore because solitary confinement looks fun to her. I know it's the wrong thing to do, but something tells me to follow her. The silence in that place draws out thoughts that I'm afraid of. The ones that keep the first man I loved, my father, crouched and immobile in a corner for days on end, his hands interlocked over his skull. He's serving a life sentence of depression. I often wonder if it began when his best friend died in his arms after an ambush by Viet Cong, or was it long before when his mother held his dead 6-year-old sister in her arms, right in front of him as she screamed, "We poisoned her!" I can't make the rapid fire pictures go away. They're locked in the solitary confinement of his mind. Like torpedoes, they travel on synapses, seeking to destroy any impulse for joy. Is joy dead? If she has even a faint pulse, I must find her and bring her back. The thick, heavy door has shut behind me, and I feel so alone, even though Rachel holds my hand. We sit down, and the countless snapshots of days when my father came home without work, disappointing his wife again and again, replay on a loop in my head. A dark heartache between my parents absorbed me. To keep it from caving in, I shut my eyes. I pray, open them wide now so I may see. I leave a cold room in my past to enter another one where lies don't survive, in my inner sanctuary. An old script revival awaits. I'm leaning into it now. Inspire me already. I insist on something better. Along with my other less than noble characteristics, being demanding is another that I'm warming to. I want to believe it is all going to turn out, but there is so much to figure out. I'm being pushed and pulled as if in an undertow. Seriously, I want to change my mind. In her dream, my mother is panicking, and I can't blame her. All she sees is a prison from where she stands on the pier. She has run 8 blocks to the water, and with her chest heaving, she arrives breathless. "It's not that I don't trust you, Dolores. It's that I don't trust the world," she said that morning of the field trip. "Children are kidnapped every day." She has always thought the worst about everything. My curfew was 10 p.m. on a Saturday when I was in high school. She was the parent who called other parents to make sure I was where I said I was going to be, and just in case they were lying, she showed up anyway. At a bowling alley, she pretended she forgot to give me money. She appeared at a couple of slumber parties with the excuse, Dolores forgot her inhaler. And I swear I saw her dash out of a movie ahead of me when I was on a date in high school. Did I dare call her on it and tell my friends that she did not forget to give me money or that I already had my inhaler? No, because I didn't trust her either. She might yell or pinch me, pull my hair, or worse, in front of my friends. Our relationship grew on mutual distrust, which only made my need for her to love me and accept me more intense. Hence this need to go into my memory bank and stitch together moments of proof of her love amidst the hysteria. In the hospital, the crown of my head is finally exposed, and then slowly my blue face emerges. A finger reaches in my mouth to clear a passageway, but the inky indigo voice that's being called refuses to come out. I'm afraid to be born and make being real official. I want to go back in where it is safe, where I feel I'm home, but they're all up in my face with a mask like the one on my mother's, thrusting the idea that breathing and life are hard. Every nerve in my body screams, "No!" "There's no going back now, sweetheart," the doctor says the same thing to all the girls. To the boys, he says, "Welcome to your world." And it will be very hard. The victim and martyr mindsets within will block my success time and again. Insecurity will undermine beauty that I create. It will murder awesome ideas and will do its best to keep me from being who I'm meant to become. But these are the bully burdens that come with a miracle birth, and they bring their bitch, free will, along for kicks, to remind me I have only myself to blame for not doing more with my life. So yeah, lots to look forward to. When my mother sees me from the pier, she gets her dried apple ugly face. It contorts right before she cries, like those old apple dolls they used to sell at craft sales in the 70s. I have finally come in 3 boats later after my group. She is waving to me, and of course I'm mortified because everything was mortifying to me at 13. But I choke up because it means everything to me that she has put me before her job. Then guilt immediately overrides the connection I so desperately want with her. It will be my fault she missed the deadline. My fault everyone will be late. Parents will have to wait. My fault that it will be my fault my teacher will be angry. I'm already an expert at making everything my fault. My eyes dart around. What are my classmates thinking? A variation of this question, what will they think, will precede almost all of my actions for 3 more decades, and I will always imagine they are thinking the worst of me. Please, 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 I beg my mind, no more tears. We have suffered long enough. I don't want the attention, but there's a great need to do something on purpose. As the boat docks, I wave to my mother, my arms are wide, and I fake a big smile across my face. Please let this work, I whisper inside. Hey Mom, over here! In unison, my classmates turn toward me and then back toward my mother. Look, I yell louder, waving my arms overhead. They let me out! My mother laughs and my heart lights up. This, it seems to me, is worth the journey, even if it means I'll have to face what's unworthy. My class is small, and I see them all laughing too, but one. That boy, Jason, who looked at me in that seedy alley as he spit his ugly word, doesn't like the attention I'm getting, so he'll make sure I pay for it later. Is it too much to ask for the goodness to last? In the car, my mother goes back to her comfort zone of worry. You could have been taken, Dios mío! Did anybody approach you? Are you hurt? Her fear will turn to anger. As she drones on about how I never listen, I turn to stare out at the bay like a wise old fisherman. A prison island rises as the sun goes down on this day, but I glimpse a future where my memories shine brightly to redeem me. In the white room, the doctor cuts us apart. Breathe, goddammit, he yells, while I become the divine color of Violet Beauregard from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But it's my mother's laugh that I hold on to, echoing for that brief, precious moment on the pier. I make my decision to stay right then, to breathe, knowing the levity I will bring to life will be valued. And to be valued is really all I want, so I cry loud and clear. But I'm not out of the woods yet. I lay there in my plastic bin, connected to poor substitutes for my mother's veining, with all the wildness of wanting growing my heart steadily bigger. My parents are not allowed to hold me, for the risk of infection is too great. A neuronal network is underway in my brain, without my say, mind you, a personal map of fear that I will never find or get what I want. I am losing my connection to the only thing that ever mattered in a distorted circuitry behind my eyes. I will always see what's missing. The doctor fails to comfort my father. We are running tests. Her lungs are weak. Her fever is high. We are keeping a close watch. I'll let you know the moment I know more. The doctor retracts his pen and slips it into the plastic sleeve of his pocket as I am wheeled away quickly down a fluorescent hallway right past my father. My wife, my father calls out, but my doctor has rounded the corner, leading my small vessel and entourage, and he doesn't hear him. My father's strength lies in the things that he can control. He walks down the hallway, a giant of a man, a veteran Marine, a Purple Heart recipient of war. He enters the elevator and presses U1, that tier of the underground of the hospital where St. Dolores waits for him in her chapel with open arms. He is unable to speak as he searches his soul. He bows his head and gives her his heart. He does it for me. Take it, he says, my life for hers, and he means it. People give up their lives all over the place for one another, and I wouldn't be here if my father hadn't laid his down for mine. So I am grateful. We call it sacrifice, duty, even compromise, but let's call it what it really is, for this is the stuff that moves mountains and makes miracles. His life serves a purpose, to bring more love into this world, even if he won't receive it. St. Dolores decided to free me, at least temporarily, from the fire in my head, and since the matter of my enlarged heart was still important to this story, it was left well enough alone. What this meant for me was a round-the-clock vigil of my irregular heartbeats for 2 weeks, and since my father's strength does not lie in the things he can't control, like his own sorrow, he decided to exercise his authority instead. We're taking her home. But Mr. De Leon, her heart is fragile. I have the same condition, doctor, and look at me, I turned out fine. They named me Dolores, obviously, but the obvious isn't everything. It's only a catalyst. What I do with what I'm given is up to me. Damn that free will. My name means pain in Spanish, and I carry its meaning around these days to remind me how this story got started, when I created my heaven on earth, disguised as hell. It's official. Today, I'm born into a new way of being. Day 2. Last night, I had a dream where my mother and I escape a house where there is violence, the kind that belittles, manipulates, and controls. In the dream, we are afraid we are being followed, so we drive off-road. Oak trees surround us, and there are dense bushes ahead. I see shadows moving between them, but we go through them anyway and drive through a stream, abandoning the old dump-run truck we have taken from our driveway in a narrow valley. Then we walk hand in hand. She leads me up a single-track trail up what is a mountain to me. I can tell that it is before midday as the light warms me from the left side, first my head and then the rest of my body as I climb higher. We crest. It is a familiar landscape. My happiest childhood memories were lived amidst the hills of Northern California. They rise like pregnant wombs from the surface of the earth. My future is spread out over golden grass, kissed by summer sun. I run down the other side of the hill while my fingers graze the softness that is tracing the lifelines along my palms. At the bottom, I sit down to run my fingers through the grasses again. Their blades caress the valleys of the soft webbing of my hands as if they are my mother's hair, and they soften and then become fur in my palm. I get on my knees and begin to part it, moving into it, reaching to find the undergrowth, what lives. I am pleased to see pores, dark moles, and birthmarks, layers that have absorbed so much and will continue to do so. Then I see it lying next to me, the head of a wild boar, its eyes open and clouded over. There is not a trace of blood or fear within me, only owl feathers that grow from its severed neck. I can't explain it, but I feel peace. I look up toward another hill and see another mother holding her daughter, palm to palm, their fingers connected in the space that is woven. They are alongside one another, running down their fertile womb. It is 3:14 a.m. I am 45 years old when I wake up. I get up to greet the glow of my computer, for the new page has dawned. It has been a long time coming, this peace that wants to hold on. Thank you for listening. I'm going to stop there and I will continue with day 3 the next time we meet. I hope you have a beautiful and creative day. Thanks again for being here.